Well, hello everyone and welcome to Momentum channel. My name is Mo, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the portfolio that my wife and I we have built, currently sitting at over $666,000. On top of that, in this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 key lessons that I have learned investing in the stock market for the past 7 years, and those type of reminders that I will share with my family and friends if they were to start investing in the market all over again. First things first, looking at the portfolio, currently sitting at the total amount of $666,168. Amount of deposits that we've put into this portfolio since the very beginning that we've invested is $533,538.47, showing an overall realized and unrealized gain combined of $132,629. Quite happy with the results of this portfolio and how things have landed. Majority of this performance, though, it's thanks to our change in our approach. When we first started investing in the stock market, we were stock picking. We were trying to really outsmart the market, really not to the best result of outcome. In fact, over the past 1 year, we started changing our approach of investing. We focus more so on few high quality, diversified ETF, exchange traded funds. Those are the 3 that we have. And these days we are actively every single day buying shares of 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖. When I say actively, what I mean by that is that we have built that consistency and momentum buying into the shares of 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 fractional every single day. But what I did not mean by that is that actually we're trying to outsmart the market and actively buy and sell. We are just in the exercise of buying this high quality, highly diversified, globally diversified ETF, which is available in Canadian dollars for investors, particularly here in Canada. It gives them exposure to stock market in the US, total US stock market. It also gives them exposure to the total Canadian stock market, as well as a mixture of international developed markets and the emerging markets. So really an all-in-one solution, ideal for many investors. And which is why close to 91% of our holdings are in 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖. In fact, if you look at it, the market value of our shares of 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 currently sits at over $600,000. We have 19,616 shares of 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 at this time. A majority of our dividend income for this portfolio comes from shares of 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖. We are not really counting on the dividend income, though. I want to point it out. Our focus in this portfolio is really building a kind of investment machine that over time continues to grow, gives us global diversification, and really it's almost like a set it and forget it type of investment portfolio. We are just constantly building on this portfolio by buying more shares of these high quality ETFs. And anytime we receive a dividend income, we are reinvesting them back to the same shares. The other 2 holdings that we have are shares of VT and VTI. VT is Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund. With VT, which is available in US dollars, we get exposure to the global stock market again, but this one is available in USD, and that's why we hold it in our actually portfolio in our RSP account, Registered Retirement Savings Plan for Canadian investors. And then we have shares of VTI, which is up by 17.3%. Overall for our portfolio, and it's actually Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. With VTI, we're getting exposure to the entire US stock market, again in US dollars, and these are the shares that we hold in our RSP account as well. Looking at the fees when it comes to these ETFs, with 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖, we are looking at a fee of 0.20%, higher than the MER of VT and VTI, but the main reason behind it is that it's especially with 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖, it's an all-in-one kind of solution. Does the rebalancing for us automatically, and it's available as well in Canadian dollars. In many ways, it is similar to that of VT, because VT also has that global diversification through its underlying holdings. But VT is available in USD. We wished, of course, the 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 had a very similar type of MER to that of VT, but unfortunately, it's not the case. And right now, compared to many other existing all-in-one solutions out there in Canadian dollars, 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 is, I believe, has one of the lowest fees. And that's what was the main reason that we actually tilted towards 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 at the time we were deciding between 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 and vEquity, which is offered by Vanguard, whereas 𝗖𝐋𝐈𝖖 is offered by BlackRock. Now, I did mention that I want to also share my 3 key lessons having invested in the stock market over the past several years. So let's go through them. The first lesson that I've had over the years investing in the stock market is not trying to outsmart the money. What I mean by that is that when I was first getting started, I really tried to determine which stocks are going to do better, which stocks are poised to really grow exponentially. And I had some successes. Like, I guess it's a story of many investors out there. You might have some early on successes and you really feel proud of your judgments and think, you know what, I got this. I am actually smart enough to select the winning stocks. But really, down the road, it didn't really last. And I think, unfortunately, it's the story of many investors. If we are truly honest and we are transparent and go back into the history of our own stock picks and performances, I'm fairly confident that many investors are not able to consistently pick winning stocks. And in fact, what ends up happening is that at the end of the day, we might have some successes, but we definitely have some failures as well along the way. Some stocks that do really poorly. And when you look at them all in all together, at the end of the day, really those gains, while they may be super exciting and something that you're proud of, those failures actually are gonna kind of balance them out. Or in many cases, they are not really gonna let your gains to really be super high, because they're gonna drag your portfolio down. At least it wasn't the case for me. And what I'm looking at it is that I would have been way better off had I invested just in broad market index funds and ETFs, as opposed to trying to outsmart the money and pick winning stocks. I'm not saying that everybody's story is going to exactly be like that, but I think that's the case for many investors. So if I were to provide that advice to my younger self, I would absolutely kind of encourage myself to do more reading into the index funds, low cost, broad market, exchange traded funds, be more familiar with them, and really take advantage of them, especially early on in investment journey. At the end of the day, of course, it's your choice. You have to do your own due diligence and decide what's best for you. The second piece of lesson that I had investing in the stock market for the past roughly 7 years is the fact that patience in the market is key. There are times that the stock market is going to do very well. Like, you're going to log on to your stock brokerage account and see that those green days, the market is going to do really well. Your portfolio is going up. And those are the days that you're excited. And you want to pour more money into the market, and because, you want to capitalize on that. And then there are days that the market is doing poorly, maybe back-to-back days, or maybe even worse. There are days that market has a major pullback, or sometimes even a major crash. Those are the days that one might really start to panic. One might start to feel like, stock market is not really the one for them. Whereas in reality, before one starts actually investing, they have to prepare themselves for all of those occurrences. That's the reality of stock market. It has its ups and it has its downs. It's going to go up and down. It's going to be volatile. The truth of the matter is that more important of that is for somebody not only to have the willingness to make money through stock market, but also have the patience, have the resilience, and have also the understanding that it is part of the process. It is part of the game. It's bound to happen. It's just a matter of when. And as long as you're understanding that and you're able to take advantage of those opportunities when it comes to your way, you're going to be in a good spot. Let me give you an example. During the years of pandemic, the stock market had a major pullback, a major kind of correction. And for investors that at that time started to panic and started to try to sell their stocks, probably many of them didn't do as well, because by the time that they started selling their stocks, probably the value of those shares had already gone down quite a bit. And by the time that they decided to come back into this invest in the stock market, many of those shares had already picked up in terms of the price per share and gone much higher up. Whereas had they been invested, assuming they had picked the right set of stocks, in our cases, for example, had they still picked the right set of index funds that give them exposure to the broad stock market, they shouldn't have been panicking, especially if they had the right timelines in mind. Like, for example, if they're investing for a longer period of time of 10, 15 to 20 years, that wouldn't have really mattered. Any temporary pullback in the market would have actually instead provided them a better opportunity for buying, as opposed to a kind of a panic moment to try to sell. When all of those considerations come together and folks are prepared, they can actually maximize these opportunities and capitalize on them, as opposed to trying to panic. So patience and having the right mindset is crucial. And the third and final lesson that for me comes to mind is knowing your why. And I think this is a nice connection to the other two facts. when you're starting to invest in the stock market, you need to know why you're investing in the stock market. What's your end goal? What's your exit strategy? And how long are you investing? If you're trying to just put your money in the stock market for a short period of time, say 6 months to 1 year or 2 years, I don't think stock market is the right avenue because it has its volatilities. While you might be lucky and the stock market goes up during that short time period and you may make a reasonable gain, there is also a good chance that it might go down. There's definitely a chance that it might go down. So it is risky. If your time horizon is short term and you need the money in a short period of time to use for other purposes, let's say for a down payment, for a house, or let's say you need the money to purchase something, let's say for pay for an event like a wedding or anything of that matter, like universities or whatnot, you need to reassess whether stock market is the right avenue for you. You know the why. Why is it that you want to invest, and what is it that you want to accomplish out of it? What is your time horizon, and be familiar with it, and then decide what is the best kind of approach to take. Those are the key lessons that I would like to share with investors based on my own kind of learnings, having invested in the stock market for the past 3 years. Lastly, I'll share with the folks one fun piece of information. Some of you may know, based on the past videos that I've made, I have a twin brother. In fact, we are identical twins. We used to look a lot alike when we were much younger. Right now, I think because of our facial differences, like I have a beard and he shaves off his beard. We might not look exactly the same, but I think we still kind of look alike. He's actually going to be visiting me and my family in Canada very soon, so I'm super excited about that. Which is why during that time that he's visiting, I might be a little bit less active on different platforms such as YouTube and Blossom. So bear with me, but I would love to hear from you if any one of you is interested to see possibly maybe a short video or a few kind of highlights from the time that he's visiting me in Canada. We were planning to possibly do a quick road trip. If you would like to see some of those highlights, do let me know, and he might be joining me in one of the future videos as an invited guest. So love to hear from you. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching this video until the end and for your support. Your words of support, your comments really mean a lot to me. You know, as a content creator, this kind of which pursues this as a passion mostly on the side. You know, those type of comments make this whole exercise definitely worth it. It's something that, you know, I enjoy connecting with the audience, enjoying with like-minded folks that are also pursuing financial independence and wanting to invest for their future, the future of their family. I want to kind of accomplish bigger, better things for themselves. So thank you so much as always for your support. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you all next time.